Hey everyone, welcome to Quarantineville. If you're watching this in the future, we're in the middle of the corona outbreak. That's the context for this video. And we're going to be seeing Chris's response to the corona outbreak and what it does to his personal life. And that's just something great to look forward to. But first, we gotta get through some other stuff. We gotta start in late February, because it's been a little while since I made a video, which keeps having to go on. It's an ongoing problem I have, but I'm gonna get better at that, I promise. Maddie says, got some disappointing news today. Can you guys share some good news you've gotten or good things that have happened to you recently? Oh, whoever this is, they have no idea what's coming. They got no idea what's coming with the quarantine. In a week and some change, I've got to spend time in LA going to my favorite parks, then Las Vegas to go see the Love Show, one of my bucket list activities, for my birthday. And then, I don't know who these people are, probably some cartoonists or something Chris likes, because he decides to jump on. He says, my bucket list trip to Vegas has me going by the Gold and Silver Pawn Shop to visit the Pawn Stars, selling a vintage autograph from a famous PBS star, and saying hey to Rick, Chumley, and Corey. Such a shame the old man isn't there anymore, but he does live on. Don't screw around. What does he mean he does live on? He's dead. Does he mean the old man is in Quickville? Is the old man from Pawn Stars half Sonichu too? Like Chris's father? Oh, man. However, I do also have a piece of that infamous silver... I don't think you know what infamous means. That infamous silver bulk purchase with 2 troy ounces of it in 2 coins I purchased from their website. In the old man we do trust, awesomely. So he has 2 silver troy coins. One is that looks like Chumley, and that's the old man. Which means that, depending on when Chris bought, that might actually be a good investment, depending on when Chris bought it and what their price is compared to the normal price of silver by weight, but he's still wasting money on random nonsense. So Chris says, Happy Pokemon Day! And he celebrates Pokemon Day by showing pictures of Sonic Hedgehog fan arts over playing cards for a My Little Pony TV show. That's just the best way to celebrate Pokemon Day, right? So it's got a Sonic and a Rosachoo, and this is Chris Sonichu and Magic-Chan. It's great. It's great. It wouldn't be a holiday without Chris chiming in to wish everybody a happy holiday. So he says, Happy Leap Day, everyone. The rare, super duper rare, only happens 1 in 4 years. It's actually less than that, whatever. The rare extra day to do more things in the year's time. Have a fun and safe day. Also, happy birthday to whoever this person is. What? Chris writing hashtag JesoDeso is the only result on the entirety of Twitter with that hashtag. Nobody else in the history of Twitter has ever used that hashtag. So I have no idea who that is. No one else does either. Alright, so on March 6th, we had Sonic Rebuilt, which is Shrek Retold, where every couple seconds a new artist takes over and they retold part of the Sonic the Hedgehog movie from the 90s or whatever. And just like with Shrek Retold, Chris had a part in that. So Chris advertises for it, saying, have a look at the full trailer on YouTube, you won't be disappointed. This person apparently either doesn't understand or wants to troll Chris and make him just explain himself and says, wait, if it's the story of Sonic, why is your OC in there? He isn't in the story of Sonic. And Chris says, Scratch and Groundar are in it now as well, and Sarah's a cat and her daddy's a mole, and you do not see me complaining about it, so Sonichu zapping it up in this is a lovely bonus. So Chris's justification is, he doesn't have one. So this person, just a random person, says, you get a letter in the mail from Sega asking if your OC could be in their next game. Would you accept it? And Chris just says, yes. Really? That wouldn't be Chris's dream or anything. This person posts again. We've seen them already, so that means that Chris is commenting on their posts a lot. And he says, or she, I actually can't tell, mine's racing a mile a minute, and I wonder where this energy was hours ago when I wanted to go to the gym, mad face. Chris responds, I know, right? I'm feeling ready to crash and hit the hay, and then, as my body begins to rest to recover, all remaining energies go to work quick in the brain. It is good for the dreaming and falling asleep process. Really, increased chance to lucid dream. 12 comments. People are just like, nope. I told my primary care doctor I was transgender, and he asks which way, and I'm like, male to female, since I was born male. It was awkward. Chris decides to chime in. I felt that too when I first informed my primary doctor in 14 of better identifying and going female myself. Awkward moments are just annoying. And these people have the best responses. If I had $1 for every time you insert your own life experience instead of consoling someone, I would have been able to buy that house out from under you, Chris. Or pay off his mortgage, lol. This is comment of the day. You win. You win comment of the day. So Chris has been watching Gino Samuel's comprehensive Christian documentary. He actually likes it for some reason. And so he'll occasionally comment on it. So we have this. This part, starting from 16 minutes 30 seconds, I forgot I made this video. It was so stupid. It is genuinely hilarious. I guess it was in the high energetic, loud voice I used that day to imitate Liquid Quiz. A lol. Yamosexual, get ready for a meme of that word. And then this person says, dude, that's crazy how time flies. What about this video, which just so happens to be my personal favorite, by the way? And Chris says, Matt, not touching that one where he's in blackface. Amazing. Hey everyone, let's talk now of female metonics and the male vamprosas, whatever, as the question on their physical appearance was proposed to me recently, and for comparison with the fresh drawing, here are the recent metonic and vamprosa cards available now. So here's some drawing. Here's a female metonic and a male vamprosa. So Chris has decided recently that rose shoes can actually be male and sonnet shoes can be female. They're not like gender specific because he basically, when originally sonnet shoes were male, rose shoes were female. Chris was a sonnet shoe. Then when Chris transitioned to female, he was still a sonnet shoe. So he then had to go back and make it so that women could be sonnet shoes and males could be rose shoes. So he had the metonic, which was a male, and the vamprosa, which was a female. But now he has to make a female version of this one and a male version of this one. So that's what this post is about. So he just has his stupid cards that no one cares about. And note, first time coloring any metonic with metallic gel pen ink. A male metonics... I cannot say this word. I keep wanting to say Metonic's armor and fur is typically as metallic sheen as in the female one drawn here. And for shiny variants, it remains in simply changing the yellow fur to white and the pink fur to royal purple. I forget sometimes that people who might be super interested in Chris don't know a lot of stuff about like Sonic and Pokemon. Like I know almost nothing about Sonic, so people would have to explain some of those things to me. Shiny is in reference to Pokemon. Each Pokemon has two different colorations. One is their normal colorations, and Shiny is a very rare form that comes about like one in every 8,000 things that encounters you have in the games. So that means that for every Sonichu that Chris draws, every different kind, like all the vampire ones, he has to draw a male, a female, and then shiny variants for them. To evolve a Pokemon is optional, but to have one that is slightly stronger option remains a good idea for most trainers. So on the fact that 1 in 13 Sonichus are female and 1 in 2 Rosechus are male, for the number out of them to have evolved by trainer influence or choice, it does remain to say that the gender variant of evolved is a rarity in comparison. I'm going to have to read that whole thing again. What? Okay, so at first he's saying that there's only 1 in 13 Rosechus are male and 1 in 13 Sonichus are female, which is fine. He's then saying that Sonichus and Rosechus can evolve into these Vamprosas and these Metniks, whatever. So he's saying that because it's rare for there to be a male Rosechu in the first place, it's even rarer for there to be a male Vamprosa because they would have to be a male Rosechu and then also have it be evolved. So I think that's what he's saying here. He continues, anyhow, you can see the different body armor style on the female Metonic, including the waist guards. And male Vamprosas keep the Raichu-like ears and back-facing quill style, and they typically wear purple slacks. Now, you all with an OC in mind have this as an optional visual reference and framework. Have fun discovering and creating. Thank you, and then he links to his shop where you can buy the cards. Bruh. Here again, we continue with the trend of a completely unrelated to Chris posts that Chris hijacks. This is to all the women in the world out there. Happy International Women's Day. Who's your favorite female character from the Sonic franchise? And we got Rogue and Amy, and I don't know what this is. Guys, I don't know if you know this, but I don't know anything about Sonic. Chris says, Rosie Rose Chew. Wait, who's your favorite Sonic character? Rose Chew. She's come a long way in her development since being transformed from a Raichu, and with Kel and Sonichu's guidance and support. She found her speed and lightning ability as quick as she could, and eventually mastered them. And then he puts his own artwork. Also, plot hole. So he's saying, who's your favorite Sonic character? My OC. And then he fills a plot hole in this Twitter thread. I love it when he does this. I love it. It just makes it impossible to read Sonichu. Plot hole filler. The reason why Rosie was inactive from Battle for the first few books of the Sonichu series is that she was still practicing and mastering her abilities after having been temporarily disabled of them shortly after her transformation. She was not meant ever to be portrayed as a weak trans woman or female figure. Oh, so people thought for a while that Rosie was trans or like a crossdresser or something. This was back when people were trolling Chris. They draw Rosie with a penis. So she was never meant to be portrayed as a weak woman or as a weak trans woman. I think this is what he's saying there. She was unsure of her abilities and had trouble with them for the first time before when she did master them. She even, in accident, found and realized her lioness megaform and the repercussions of losing her clothes. I love this. Chris had Rosechew, because he has Rosies evolve into Rosechew, so that's a Pokemon evolving into another Pokemon. And then he had Rosechew turn into this super lioness form when they're at the top of the 4-cent garbage building. And it was like a temporary transformation. But that was before Mega Pokemon came out. So, and then she like reverts back. So it's like a partial transformation like Mega Pokemon. So Chris made a Mega Pokemon before they actually existed. And I just love that. This person says, Chris, Rosechew isn't a Sonic character. Also, she assaulted an innocent man who just made something on the internet. He was not innocent at all. His intentions were just as horrific, lewd, and slanderous as the worst cyberbully and hater troll in the world. Which, of course, means that she can beat him up, right? It's amazing. And I love how he doesn't address the criticism that she's not a real Sonic character. Happy Sonichu 20th anniversary. 20 years ago today, during a Manchester High School computer graphics class, I, Chris Chan Sonichu, discovered my son and brought him into initial visual chronicling on a CD cover and insert, from music to graphic novels to Twilight Sparkle's secret folder cards. So let's look at the first drawing of Sonichu. It's so good. He has a halo around himself of the Pokemon elements. That's like a miscolored Butterfree. He's got what I assume are Transformers. He got a sombrero because he likes Spanish. I don't know what that is. And of course, Sonichu. The original Sonichu cover. Oh yeah, the first annual Cookville SLGBTQ Pride Festival. The straight, lesbian, gay, bi, trans, queer Pride Festival. I love Chris. He's the best. And then this, I'm surprised Chris didn't use the redrawn cover, which has him as a woman. Chris doesn't like acknowledging that original cover anymore. Here's to the most awesome electric hedgehog Pokemon ever. How about getting me involved in the next game? Since his Pokedex number is literally 982, Nintendo of American Game Freak, please. So the reason this is relevant is because every generation of Pokemon, recently it's actually been a lot less, but there's usually between like 70 and 150 new Pokemon. And we're about to hit 982. So in the next new Pokemon game, we will surpass the number that Chris believes Sonichu and Rosechew are at. This means that when that day comes, Chris, who is fully expecting Sonichu to actually be in the next game, is probably going to throw some sort of fit. All right, let's read the songs on Chris's album. Christian's favorite hits. You can barely read this. Sonic Boom, Don't Say You Love Me, Circuit Select from Mario Kart 64, Love and Marriage from Frank Sinatra, Poke Rap, Rainbow Road. Yeah, so most of this is from Sonic Adventure, Mario Kart 64, and Frank Sinatra. It's just an amazing album. Please. Okay, someone who's watching this video, I want you to go on Spotify, make a playlist of this. They might not have all these songs, especially the Nintendo ones, but I want someone to make a playlist of this exact album and put it somewhere. You can put it in my Discord, which I should have linked below, or you just put it on Twitter. You can at me on Twitter, I'll retweet it. That's at GIBI_Devin. I'll put that at the end of the video too, and in the description. Alright, so here's the saddest news of the year, guys. Guys, this is just heartbreaking to read. Announcement. It's with a heavy heart that we are canceling BABScon 2020 due to the COVID-19 pandemic. We will return April 2nd through 4th, 2021 in our usual venue. Please read our full statement here. Stay safe and take care of each other. BronyCon says, sending you all love and support during this. Here's to next April being the biggest Babs bash it can be. And Chris says, how about BronyCon starting up for this year in lieu of BABScon, please? Just completely missing the point. He's like, oh, if BABScon is canceled, we can just throw a BronyCon instead. It's not like it was canceled because of the global pandemic. Amazing. Because Chris has been looking forward to go to this for, like, ever. And I think Jacob was going to go, and was going to, like, gonna do some bad things. Okay, this pisses me off. Seriously? And he's just mad that BABScon was canceled. You know, that's really the real thing to be worried about right now. God, Chris reacting to Corona is just going to be my favorite. Okay, so this guy says, to all the artists from the canceled BABScon, in addition to print-on-demand services to help you sell prints, see our pinned tweet, we are donating up to 100 of our adorable sea sailor plushes to vendors to sell. You sell them, you keep 100% of the profits. We ship them. And Chris responds in the comments, reminder on the Sancho and Roastu Twilight Sparkle Secret Chip Fit CCG cards. So many letters. Twilight Sparkle Secret Chip Thick Folder Collectible Card Game Cards. Oh my god. I have on my store. Bulk deals are optional, and you all can keep the profits. Shipping is included in all prices. My books are also available for purchase and resale for your profits as well. Because, so this guy is like, the C Brony guy, he was like, hey, we're going to give away all of our stuff to the vendors that have been affected negatively by this. We're giving it to you for free. You get to keep the profits. And Chris is like, hey, for all you guys, just a reminder that you can buy stuff from me and then sell it at an increased price, just like you normally could. Even though normal people could also just buy it directly from me. So why would they ever buy it from you? And of course, I would be more than happy to retweet any links to your online stores to help you all reach out to anyone. Thank you for your consideration. And C-Brony's guy is like, it would be lovely if you would retweet the online stores from artists and vendors who were slated to vend at BABScon. Right now, we're trying to help them as much as possible. And this person who obviously knows about Chris is like, the answer is no. Chris wasn't an official vendor. Also, Chris probably wouldn't help out the vendors, unfortunately. Hope it all works out. Yeah. That's a big oof. That's a large egg. Grand oof. Alright, here we go. Corona. Okay, get ready for another light rant from me. I am not fond of how overworked everyone is over this coronavirus. This really pisses me off. I don't think he means overworked. I think he means like overstressed or something. I think he means worked up. I don't think he means overworked. Sigh. Now, for my 2 cents on the matter, because that's what we really need. I have been aware of this virus since I have foreseen this event. Chris foresaw Corona and did nothing. Just a reminder, guys. Chris foresaw this and did nothing. I had foreseen this event, and then finding the confirmation of its conception last January in mid-eastern China. I refused to overthink the topic or the virus at all, so I remained oblivious to any discussion or detail on the virus at all, and continued to keep my healthy habits of soap and water hand washing, always having and using hand sanitizer with aloe when needed, and even recently starting wearing a 3M brand mask for precaution. It's been said to death, but those masks don't do anything for viruses. The openings in the masks are too big, and they're really only good to stop the wearer. If you sneezed or if you cough, hopefully you won't spread stuff. But the masks don't actually help you from catching it. I don't know. March 18th? No, he should have known this by then if he was paying attention. I am confirmed to be negative of the virus myself from my recent blood work with the family doctor. Not how it works. He could have caught it any day since then. And also, They're not testing the virus from recent blood work with the family doctor. Yeah, they're not going to waste a test kit on some guy who just randomly had blood work. I know that, I don't actually expect Chris to know any of this stuff. I'm just saying this because a lot of other people don't know. It takes a lot, at least in my area, it's taking a lot to actually get tested for this. I know someone who had to go to the hospital multiple times because they wanted to rule out everything else before they wasted a corona test kit. Which is fun. The bottom line is that this viral event is actually a better step, oh my god, a better step in our own developments and evolution. What? As well as a deity-level test to sort out the weak. A deity-level test. So God is testing us. He's killing all these old and sick people. A deity test to sort out the weak from the moderate and strong of mental and soulful individuals, and nothing else. There's nothing else, guys. The fact that we actually have a vaccine being tested now shows that this epidemic will be over with within 1 week or 2. That's not how it works. They've said, the CDC has said it may take over a year to make a thingy, if ever, a vaccine. And everyone will have adjusted from the knowledge that had been scientifically gathered of this thing. Everyone mainly is just paranoid of this which they do not fully know or comprehend, and hardly ever thought to take what they had learned from the past similar epidemic and apply to how it actually play it smart and wise. Apply it to now to actually play it smart and wise. We have not had epidemics like this since, the Spanish flu in the 1800s or whatever. I do not even know of the symptoms. Maybe you should look that up, Chris. Because again, if I literally overthought about it, I would be at greater risk of infecting myself from reading and repeating the list in my mind. Guys, we just need to quote this, please. I do not even know of the symptoms, because again, if I had literally overthought about it, I would be at greater risk of infecting myself from reading and repeating the list in my mind. It's neurotypical and idiotic for anyone to do that and overthink it. Okay. I knew I was getting myself into something when I decided to record this video, because I knew Chris was going to talk about this. I didn't know he was going to be like this, though. Sigh. But I digress. A lot of people can get so overworked and recklessly paranoid and stressed over such simple and obvious things, to the point of individual social isolation that puts a delay to too many things. He's just pissed about BABScon. I feel pissed off seeing everyone going that far. It's simply crazy and stupid. Yeah, guys, Chris is telling you it's simply crazy and stupid. Don't listen to the CDC or the president or the World Health Organization about social isolation. No, Chris is just saying it's crazy and stupid and you're just overreacting. The only positive out of it is the further reminder to everyone in general. The only positive out of it is the further reminder for everyone in general. I can't say that word. The only positive out of it is the further reminder for everyone, in general, to simply wash their hands and keep clean habits as often as possible. The greater factor for a happy, healthy life is maintaining a positive, optimistic outlook for yourself on life and counting your individual blessings. I do this every day. So should you. Hatred and darkness only sends one downhill. See, I actually agree with that. Because even though we all know that Chris is completely delusional and insane, if instead of being optimistic, he was pessimistic, he probably would not still be around. He would have anheroed himself a long time ago. Okay, so this guy's mad. You know F all about the virus because you lock yourself inside and focus on Ponytown whilst doing everything else possible to avoid getting a job and being a responsible adult. Christine, stop talking down on people who are genuinely concerned. You're becoming horrible. Chris says, I was not talking down on anyone, and I do appreciate everyone's concern. You do not fully comprehend my responsibilities, duties, and the hard work I literally do every day. Chris, how could you foresee the virus but not BABScon being cancelled? That's great. Oh, so he has another response to the same message, but instead of responding to his previous message, he responded to the initial message again, which makes it really hard to read. And with a comment like yours, it really shows you know very little about me. You wonder why I didn't approve your not-canon book. You don't know me, or the rest of us. So then this person just did a little drawing of the Lady of the Tramp person, and Chris had hashtag wash your hands, which is the last thing that he's tweeted 46 minutes ago as of this recording. Chris telling us all to make sure that we practice proper hygiene, because Chris saying that is definitely not ironic in the slightest. That is the end of the Chris Chan, I can't even call this a weekly update, just the Chris Chan update, Chris Chan quarantine update. How Chris is doing. Chris, he's not going outside, he's just on the internet and playing video games. His life is so totally different than it used to be. He really is mad about, people just overreacting to this virus. So, I think we need to legitimately talk about the concerns of this killing Barb, right? Because if Chris doesn't believe that the virus is going to affect him, or that it's real, or any of that nonsense, and he's going out, or he's not actually showering, because we know he doesn't do that, and he's not taking the precautions that most of the rest of us are, and he's living in that horrible, actually, vermin-infested house with Barb, who is old and sickly, there's a very good chance that she could die from corona. And that's not good. It's not good. I mean, it's definitely not something I want to happen. She's going to die eventually. It's going to be soon. But it would suck if, Chris's bad hygiene and him not taking this seriously is what actually leads to her death. It should also be noted that Chris had a court date, and it was actually postponed due to corona. So that's going to be in May now. And that's something that he didn't even bother to mention on Twitter, because I don't even think he knows or cares about his own court dates anymore. So thank you for watching. You can join my Discord, which is linked in the description. Link's only good for about 24 hours. You can follow me on Twitter at GiBi_Devin. Please follow, subscribe to my YouTube for more Chris Chan updates. I'm also soon working on a series where I go into the Sonichu comics. I'm finally been doing that. I've actually been taking notes, researching, and writing about that since February of last year. It has been 13 months. Sonichu is that dense and that mind-numbing that I can't actually read it for that long. It's a physical strain on my mind to look at Sonichu for that long. I'm finally working on the first video about the first 2 issues of Sonichu. That's going to go up relatively soon. I'm working on a bunch of other projects. And hopefully, now that I'm not doing my day job because of Corona, I'll be able to make videos a lot quicker. So please, please, please subscribe. And I will see you all very soon.